So this story starts back in 2022 in the spring when I recently just turned 14. I know I was young, but I needed a job. Parents are the type of people where as soon as you turn 14, you needed to go apply for a job, you know? And in my area, there's only about 3 places that come to mind that hire at 14. Those places were 1, McDonald's, 2, this like little ice cream parlor called Rita's Water Ice, you might not know, has ice cream and like water ice. And I didn't want to work there because it was pretty much only open in the summer and late spring. And obviously I didn't want to work at McDonald's for obvious reasons. So there's this place called Dairy Queen. I'm sure everyone has heard of it. It's an ice cream place. And my sister worked there at the time. My sister was about 17 at the time. And she said it was a pretty good place to work at from her experience. She said the managers were really nice. And there's a manager that's really important in this story. So I'm not going to use his real name. Let's just call him Chris. Everyone says he's like the super funny, fun, chill manager, right? So I'm really coming into this with high expectations and kind of excited, you know? Hold on. Come back here! Before we continue the video, I spent days editing this video. It's 1:16 a.m. Well, I haven't spent days yet, but I know I will. So if you could just hit the like button, you know? It's not that hard. Just move your mouse or your finger and just click that like button. And if you like me, maybe subscribe, you know? You might want to see future videos. Turn on the notifications. Also, in the description is my Twitch where this was all streamed on. So, you know, if you want to be the super cool guy that you think you are, go down there and follow the Twitch. And there's some other socials down there too you can follow. Anyways, if you do that, I appreciate you. If you don't, I don't know. See you guys later. Ah, man. So I'm coming into this with high expectations, right? Of this super nice manager who's funny and fun, whatever. So I decide to apply to Dairy Queen. It's about March, April, maybe, of 2022. And I'm excited for this job because it's my first job, but I'm also really nervous. So I decided to apply and have my interview. Everything goes pretty well. The interview was a little awkward since it was my first time at an interview, but the interview was pretty easy. The interviewer was a pretty nice woman. It was the owner. That's who was interviewing me. Get me my ice cream, boy. I don't work there anymore. Come on, dude. I got the job, but they didn't put me on schedule till about June. Not too sure why. Maybe they just didn't need extra people. It was June, and it came down. It was my first day. It was my first day of working at Dairy Queen, and the guy who was training me was Chris, the manager. Supposedly this really fun guy, laid back guy. So I was excited. I was chill. And it started pretty well. He was pretty chill. He wasn't a great person at training, but it was pretty chill. He just had me doing some packaged ice cream. I just had to make these packaged ice cream bars, and everything went well. So this place takes place in summer of 2022, right? And the uniform, the outfits we had to wear were really bad. It was khakis. I had to wear these tight khakis in the middle of summer. So it wasn't that comfortable, you know, middle of summer wearing khakis. So my sister did work there, but she didn't like to work with me. I think she would purposely tell the managers to not put me on shifts with her. Not really sure why. So about a month probably has passed. Everything was going good for maybe about a month. I didn't know everything yet, but I was still kind of warming up. Again, I was 14, and there was a lot of items, a lot of weird ice cream flavor items on this menu. So it was kind of hard to understand everything because there was a lot of items that people just wouldn't order, you know? For example, an orange Julius. Who's going to an ice cream place to order a smoothie? Really, like actually, so no one really ordered that. Now, that's going to be important later on. Now, there's a lot of girls who work at this ice cream place. And to me being one of the youngest that works there and being one of the only boys, it was a little weird. I started to notice that the other workers would slack off quite a bit. And the manager, Chris, wouldn't really care. And he would kind of have me doing all the work, which was weird because one, I was probably the youngest and I was also the newest. But it wasn't too big of a deal. You know, I didn't really care. I kind of understood. Maybe he's just going extra hard on me because I'm new, whatever. That's when I started getting a little annoyed. Hit him! Yes. But it wasn't too big of a deal yet. Until this time came when one of my coworkers, who I was pretty good friends with at the time, I think he was about a year and a half older than me, he asked me if I wanted a milkshake. Now, it wasn't unusual for the employees to make themselves a drink or a little ice cream. So I was like, yeah, why not? If you're offering. And he made me one. I was extremely thirsty and he decided to make me a milkshake. So I was like, hey man, thanks. I'm sipping this milkshake, you know, like every maybe 5 minutes. And it's no big of a deal. But then Chris, the manager that everyone loves, apparently, sees me drinking this milkshake. And he's like, yo, put the milkshake down. He kind of has this whole freak out. And I'm like, okay, I'll put the milkshake down. So I put it down and I'm not really drinking on it the whole rest of the time. Not really sure why he freaked out on me. I'm not even the person who made it. This kid, James, we'll call him. He's the one who made it for me. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they're also at the time paying me only $7.25 an hour, which is the minimum wage in Pennsylvania. And that needs to be changed. It's not very good. But my sister told me, oh, they'll give you a raise soon. They'll give you a raise soon. It's okay. So I was like, okay, whatever. If they give me a raise soon, it's all good. That's like child labor. Yeah, word. So things start to go wrong there, you know. Chris isn't really happy with me, I guess. He kind of yelled at me. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I was just sipping on a milkshake, you know. I was just drinking the milkshake, you know. Not crazy. It was just one milkshake. That's all I've ever made. I've never really made ice cream for myself on my shift. Other than that, I mean, I didn't even make it for myself, to be fair. I still feel like I'm the only one actually working. Co-workers are kind of just like slacking around, just kind of chilling. And it kind of makes me a little irritated that I'm the only one working, but I'm the only one that he's getting mad at, you know? And it's really weird the things he's got me doing. He's got me like sweeping up the parking lot. He has me sweeping the parking lot. And then comes the Orange Julius story. So there's this massive DoorDash order for like 3 smoothies, 2 milkshakes, 3 blizzards, crazy, right? And it was just me. I was the only one working on that DoorDash order. So it was a lot of stuff, you know, I could get easily confused. I'm probably around 10 minutes into the DoorDash order, or the order. I don't know if it's DoorDash. I think it was DoorDash, but I can't really remember. I've done everything. I'm pretty much finished. And Chris comes over to me. He comes over to me while I'm making the last order and he goes, when did they have the strawberry smoothie listed on here? I was like, strawberry smoothie? I thought this was a strawberry Julius. He's like, no, it's a strawberry smoothie. What's the difference? I didn't know the difference. I thought they were the same damn thing because they're pretty much the same exact ingredients. You just had to add this like powder to the Julius's, which is really weird. But anyways, he gets all mad about me not knowing the difference between a strawberry smoothie and a strawberry Julius. So that kind of pisses me off. But it doesn't really matter. I just fix it and then we move on. I didn't think it mattered that much. But then it comes to the end of the shift. He pulls me aside. He's like, Miles, can you come to my office? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he's like, he starts yelling at me and cursing at me. He's like, how the do you not know the difference? How do you not know the menu? He goes, how do you not know the menu? Yeah, and you've been here for a month and a half or 2 months or whatever it's been. And I'm like, I know the menu. I just forgot the difference between the strawberry smoothie and the strawberry Julius because they're so similar. He's like, this is bullshit. I'm sick of your bullshit. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes, this morning when you were restocking the spoons, you were kicking the spoon box around. There's like a big box of like spoons, plastic spoons, and you have to like restock them. He was like, you were kicking the box around. I wasn't kicking it. I was just moving it with my foot. Like, let me give you guys an example. You have to like kind of bend down. So I put the box down, right? And you kind of have to bend down to put the spoons into the thing. So that's what I'm doing, right? And I just when I was going on to the other section of spoons, I just moved the box with my foot. That's no big deal. He didn't say anything at the time, but now he's trying to bring up my bullshit, saying that I kicked the box of spoons. So I'm like, yo, what is up with this guy? Why is he always on my ass for doing nothing? I didn't even do it, you know, just moving the spoon box with my foot. So then I kind of get this theory. He's only being an asshole to me. He's making me do these hard ass, weird ass jobs. I start to have a theory, and so does my other sister. So I have 3 older sisters, if you guys don't know. Me and my other sister start to have this theory that maybe this Chris guy might have a thing for my sister, which is a little weird because he's like 22 or something, and my sister is 17. But it's just a theory, right? Nothing really is proving that. So after this incident, you know, I just kind of try to ignore it, keep moving on. But then this day happens. I think it's maybe early September. Yeah, I think it's early September. You know, school was just recently started. I was going into my first year of high school. I was a freshman in high school at this point. But yeah, school just started, and I come home one day, and I was kind of feeling bad the whole school day. I had a bad headache. I was kind of dizzy. And I finally get home, and I'm like, oh shit, I have to go to work. I'm scheduled to work. Can't go to work today. I feel dizzy. I have a bad headache. My stomach's starting to hurt a little bit too. I feel like I'm about to throw up. So I tell my dad and my mom. They're like, no, you have to go to work. They're like, hell no. I'm like, Mom, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I'm dizzy. I have a headache. I'm getting hot, you know. And they're like, no, you got to go to work. You can't skip. Not sure why they said that. And they're not the ones driving me to work that day. It's my sister. And now I went from telling my parents that I was sick, that I can't go, to telling my sister. I'm like, yo, I can't go. I feel like I'm about to puke. They kind of just ignore me and say, fuck you. You have to go to work. So I'm like, shit. I throw on my uniform and I head to work. So I get to work maybe 10 minutes late. And I'm talking to Chris. I'm like, yo, my bad, I was late. And it was only Chris working. It was only me and Chris scheduled to work that day. And I go into the bathroom to like wash my hands or whatever, and I puke. I puke at work in the bathroom. Terrible experience. So I come out the bathroom and I tell Chris, yo, I just puked. Chris is like, damn, he doesn't really have a reaction, to be honest. But and so I called my sister back after I puked, saying like, I gotta leave. I just puked. And she's like, I already left. I'm far away. I can't come to get you. I'm hanging out with my friends. So then I call my mom. My mom doesn't answer. So then I call my dad, and my dad's like, okay, I'll come there. 15 minutes or whatever. So I'm just sitting in the back, just sitting there with my head on the table. And there's like this little like rest table or whatever. Feeling like feels like I'm spinning in circles. And what does Chris do? He comes over to me. He's like, hey, buddy. And he gives me a Sprite. He's like, this should make you feel better. It didn't make me feel better. It made me feel worse. 5 minutes after he did that, I threw up again. I went to the bathroom and I puked. And I've kind of felt bad because it was only Chris working the rest of the night, or the rest of, I don't know. But my dad comes back and he's like, dang, you puked? And I was like, yeah, I tried to tell you guys. And I don't think they really cared that much. So now I'm just kind of really sick of this job. You know, I just puked there. I don't want to come back again. Maybe a week later, and I'm in history class with this one teacher that I love. This teacher, she's like a second mom, and I'm talking to her like, yo, I gotta quit this job, you know, but I've never quit a job before, so I didn't really know how. And my history teacher texts my manager telling him that I quit, and I eventually found a new job. But my sister continues to work there, right? At this point, where my sister's now 19 years old, right? And Chris and my sister are good friends, you know. I think Chris is like 24 or 25 or something. And they begin to hang out a lot, you know, as friends. Like my sister strictly wants to be friends with them. You know, they're going to concerts and stuff. You know, they're just doing normal friend stuff. But then my sister gets a boyfriend, and Chris starts to act weird. And this is when my theory became true. Chris indeed did like my sister. A little weird because my sister started working there when she was like 14 or 15, and Chris was still like 20 at the time when my sister started working. But my theory came true, and then my sister quit. So that's the story. I think I've finally finished editing the video. Currently 3:08 a.m. on August 1st. Hopefully tomorrow, well, I mean, I guess today. Oh man, I've got a job interview tomorrow too. I've got a job interview today or tomorrow. You know what I mean. On the day that I just finished editing story about a job. Anyways, this was all shared on my Twitch. Go follow. I gotta go to sleep.